Hola y gracias por acompañarnos. Hoy está con nosotros Noemí, una joven pues que es muy activa aquí en la comunidad hispana entre los jóvenes católicos y que nos viene a hablar sobre su experiencia en la conferencia Steubenville of the Rockies. Así que este es un video pues para que le enseñe a sus hijos, ¿verdad? Si a lo mejor tienen dudas de si ir o no, pues Noemí nos va a contar su experiencia, sobre todo en inglés, y pues nos va a hablar de cómo ella se sentía y lo que experimentó y cómo cambió su vida esta conferencia. La información pues la van a encontrar en pantalla. Pero Noemí, bienvenida y gracias por acompañarnos.
Sí, muchas gracias. Mi nombre es Noemí Vásquez. Yo pertenezco a la parroquia de Anunciación. Tengo ya muchos años involucrada con la pastoral juvenil y también con el grupo de los jóvenes ahí en Anunciación. Yo soy la encargada del grupo de preteens, entonces mi área kind of specialty es de las edades de 9 a 12. Entonces, sí, pues muchas gracias por tenerme.
Sí, Noemí, you've been to the Steubenville conference before. How many times have you been, first of all?
I've gone twice. I
Okay.
went, my first time ever was in 2016, and then the following summer I went again.
And can you tell us what was your experience, especially the first time you went? I mean, it's something different, maybe, in being in English
Yeah.
than what we're used to. How was that?
So prior to going to the Steubenville conference, I wasn't involved with like the youth group at my parish. I was raised Catholic and I have really strict Catholic parents. But besides that, I didn't really have an experience with the Lord until I went to this youth conference. I remember that one of my friends who I went to high school with, she just texted me like the Wednesday before or something. And she was like, hey, Father Joseph's the one in charge of the youth group at my parish. He was like, he just texted me asking if I had any friends who might be interested in going to a conference this weekend. We would leave Friday, come back on Sunday. And well, right away I said, no, I'm okay. Like, thank you for thinking of me, but I'm okay. And she kept insisting, like, come on, just go. I'm going to be there, whatever. And I finally was able to go. And it's one of the best experiences that I've lived in my life. Just seeing the amount of people who gather from different states and who are willing to spend the weekend away from our busy lives. I feel like we live very, very busy lives, and just taking the time to step aside and, give yourself the opportunity was very transformative for me.
Yeah, and seeing just so many people, your age, the age for high school students, right? And just
Yeah.
being able to see so many people, it's always amazing. I guess so many Catholics on fire, right? How was that first experience? Yeah, when you get there, just I don't know, were you a little nervous, maybe?
Yeah, definitely. Especially being like there, kind of not familiar with anybody, and having to, participate in icebreakers and prayers and stuff was totally different than what I was used to. But seeing so many people, like, it's amazing how many people there are. And every youth group is like, has matching shirts and like have these cool games that they've practiced throughout the year throughout the year for this specific conference. May seem overwhelming, but I feel like the more you starts to see it, the more kind of the norm it becomes.
Yeah, and can you tell us about your experience that you said was transforming?
Yes, I feel like, well, the guest speakers that come every year, they're great. They have that talent to speak to youth, and sometimes it may be hard or it might be discouraging to just sit in a conference all weekend, but it's not like that at all. There's times for like small groups, you'll have a conference, so just being able to see these people who, have this honor and this trait to speak to the youth was really cool. I think the most memorial part was adoration on Saturday night. There's live music. It's just an amazing time, and I wish I could describe it in words how great it was, and just seeing so many people gathered in one room, worshiping the Lord. it's just an experience that you have to live for yourself, I guess.
Sí, ¿con qué mensaje te quedaste más, no? O sea, ¿te has quedado más después de la conferencia? ¿Llegaste a tu casa? ¿Qué diferencia notaste, no? ¿O qué en lo que más te ayudó?
I think that going to this conference turned on like a little light that I had in my heart. It took just going and giving it the one chance. After that, I started going to the youth group at my parish. I started getting more involved. I started to learn more about my faith. I didn't really understand what adoration was, what youth groups were for, what the impact of community was. So I feel like that's what I took away from Steubenville, the fact that, we live in a world where it may be hard to just step back and connect with other people and, live your life and your faith, but making the time and giving yourself the opportunity to just be able and open to whatever God wants for you. I feel like it's the most important thing.
Yeah. And for you, it seems like it was helpful that you went with a friend.
Yeah, definitely. And I know it might be intimidating, like, oh, I'm not going to go to this conference by myself, but Steubenville's for, if you're in that age group and you're free that weekend, or if you are able to, I really, really suggest it. And if you don't want to go by yourself, take a friend, like they brought me.
Yeah, and what would you tell, the youth who might be watching this video and who might be a bit hesitant to go?
Yeah, I feel like I kind of mentioned earlier, just giving yourself the opportunity. You're never gonna know what it's like if you don't step outside of your comfort zone and just give it a try. There's so many people, and sometimes like having the chance to meet other people who might share the same values as you is kind of difficult. So definitely be open to meeting new people outside of your parish. Like I said, there's people who come from all over different states. So you'll find someone who will make you feel at home there.
Noemí, well, thanks a lot for sharing your experience. I think it's helpful for a lot of people. I know I myself was scared to go to my first retreat. You're always kind of, you don't know what to expect, but it's great. And, thank you for sharing your experience. And let's hope, if you're watching this right now, don't be scared. You have nothing to lose, really. Call a friend and say, hey, let's go to this together.
Exactly.
And it's great. Well, is there anything else you would like to add?
I think the only other thing I would mention is the fact that you see youth on stage as well during the conference. There's like a whole week-long event that happens right before Steubenville for leaders of youth groups and stuff. And seeing these young people on stage giving their testimony in front of the whole room is so inspiring. It's something that I wish I could do one day. So just knowing that they're just like one of us. So I feel like that also is something really important from the conference, seeing yourself and seeing other people that are like you.
Yeah. Oh, that's great. And well, you have all the information on the screen right now. So don't be scared, talk to your parents and just go for it. Thanks for joining us, Noemí.
Yeah, thank you for having me.